In a studio outside Seattle, I was able to spend a few hours checking out the new Genesis G80 crossover. I've already produced a video about that, talking with Tony Chen, Genesis creative manager and lead exterior designer for the GV80 over Zoom.
Hey, thanks for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Same with us. Seriously.
Sorry, the audio isn't that great. We also talked about the all-new G80 sedan that will be out in the fall of 2020. I got a short look at it while filming the GV, and I'm sharing because, well, that's what I do. Just another reason to subscribe to my channel, folks. This is a preview of the new G80 because this is a pre-production prototype not allowed on public roads. But a lot of you are waiting for this car and want to know about it, so I do have a lot of information for you. While Chen did not design the G80, he's offering insight. This sedan is the spiritual base for the entire Genesis brand. Starting life as the Hyundai Genesis, the second generation began as a Hyundai, then became a Genesis, so Gen 3 has a lot to live up to.
Oh yeah, so definitely the team, when they were working on it, had a lot to consider when they were designing the third generation for this car. So I think, luckily, GV80 and G80 were developed within a close time frame that the two vehicles were able to feed off of each other in terms of design elements and technology. It was a mission kind of to only look forward at that point, to establish these two vehicles to be outstanding and less to look to the heritage of the previous one.
Genesis engineers are particularly proud of the slim quad headlights. The Element repeats with the side markers and rear lamps. Designers used horizontal elements to make the sedan look longer and wider. There's a clear resemblance between the G and the GV.
I saw them both together. They definitely look like brother and sister.
Oh, totally. For sure, you'll start to see as our lineup gets fulfilled, brand equity we've created. You'll see in the upcoming products that there's also going to be a little twist on certain elements that still make the cars feel within family, but give it a fresh kind of take as well. For the G80, there's a lot more wood trim than there is on the GV80, and that comes from the nature of also the consumers from the previous vehicle were more catered to with the wood trim materials.
I can tell you that the gauge cluster has a neat 3D look that doesn't photograph well. A 14.5-inch split-screen display rests at eye level. The interface is both touchscreen and dial-operated. You have your choice. This ring feels silky smooth, very tactile.
In essence, the strategy for design was very similar to the GV80 interior, where it emphasizes width and brings your eyes from one corner of the interior to the other. In terms of technology and screens, basically all the layout was placed for the best possible human interaction. And then we eliminated anything that was too cumbersome or too busy, basically. And that's to the nature of trying to bring stateliness and a sense of elegance and luxury to vehicles. So from an exterior standpoint, we're constantly trying to make the car feel longer and wider. So you feel like this car has presence when you approach it. On the interior, you want to make the space feel bigger than it is. So you want to carry as much across the interior as possible. So occupant feels like he's in a much bigger space than he's actually in.
With no measurements to go on, the back seat appears to have about the same room as a Mercedes E-Class. Genesis is targeting that. The center spine looks substantial. There are expected niceties in the back, though I'm sure this is a loaded car. The trunk seems to have the expected size. Needs something larger? Well, there's that GV80, and it has 3 rows of seating. Is there a spare tire? Yes, there is a spare tire. Okay.
As a designer, is it hard for you folks to design around technology that people want, and technology that has to be there just because of governmental requirements?
Oh yeah, there's definitely Internally, we as designers are constantly pushing what we call internally USPs, unique selling points. So these unique selling points sometimes make it to the day of production, but sometimes get postponed or it's too expensive. So those are the more exciting elements that, like augmented reality on the interior or these quad lamps that you see. These are kind of pushes from the design side to challenge the engineering side. But when we talk about pedestrian safety or certain regulation where it's for, let's say, the range of the vehicle affecting the aerodynamics. So these things are much more serious, and you have to apply as a designer or talk with an engineer or debate with an engineer to get the final result.
In the US, it will be powered by a 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder with 300 horsepower or a 3.5-liter turbo V6 with 375 horses. Choose between rear or all-wheel drive. Gear shifts are done by an 8-speed transmission. Again, didn't drive it, hope to soon.
I just wish we can start seeing them on the road, because you'll start to see when it's driving next to the competitors, how stanced and how planted they are on the ground. And I think that presence you will start to see among all of our lineups going forward.
A passerby in a Jaguar thought this might be a new Bentley. There's more of a laid-back look to the silhouette here.
Photography often doesn't convey how a car really looks in person.
Yes.
Me personally, I never judge the looks of a car until I've actually seen it in person.
That's a mark of an expert.
Yeah.
Special thanks to Tony Chen for talking about the G80. In person, it's a sedan that has presence, something you'll immediately see when they hit the road. Wish I could have driven this car, but again, this G80 is a pre-production prototype not allowed on public roads. A good idea would be to subscribe to this channel. That way, once I actually get a car that I can drive, you will find out what the driving dynamics are. So sign up, okay? This is a pretty good channel, even if I have to say so myself. I'm Tom Voelk.